But that isn't everything that this game has to offer. There are the secret reports. Secret reports similar to the Ansem reports and the secret Ansem reports shed a little bit more light on what's going on in the background. And we're going to read these. There's quite a bit of them. So we're going to go through them. This is going to be its own extra video. So if you're interested, hope you enjoy it. A name defines an object, describes the span of it, gives it purpose. We embarked upon the replica program to ensure our new power stays ours. Now our shadow puppet, number I, or no I, lives. It needs a name, something to define it, to give the hollow vessel purpose. Seems like we're getting new members every day. Number 13 was a boy, Roxas. Now we've got number 14, Shion. Today's mission was to show Roxas the ropes. I feel like they've had me babysitting him since he got here. He's not a bad kid, but he's spacey. Good fighter, though. At least I won't be bored. Shion is being monitored. Roxas, meanwhile, has begun his training exercises. It is imperative we keep Shion from having undue contact with Roxas until we are certain it will perform as expected, which will take another 10 days if Vexen's convictions are to be trusted. As for the Keyblade Master, Marluxia will no doubt be keeping an eye on him. Another mission with Roxas today. Is he seriously my responsibility? At least he's starting to talk like a normal person. Maybe that means his memory's coming back. Still, this kid's supposed to be the Keyblade Master's nobody? I don't see it. Ugh. How dare they shut me out of monitoring the Keyblade Master, and then to send me off to teach that half-baked nobody basic magic? I should have had him light me on fire. Won't be long now, though. Once I'm over at CO, our plan goes into action. No more playing nanny. Ever. They pushed up the CO plan. Our little hero with the key must have made a move. Me and his nobody have been meeting up for ice cream the last few days. Not the best conversationalist, but at least he's mastered a few facial expressions besides doom and gloom. I told him about CO, but he didn't seem to follow. Guess that's understandable. The program is largely on target. No I, my finest replica, has proven an even greater success than anticipated. I intend to take the other vessel, judged unfit for number status, to Castle Oblivion, where I will subject it to further testing. One thing is clear. Could these replicas not be classified as a special sort of nobody? Marluxia has succeeded in leading the Keyblade Master to the castle. I sense multiple threads at work, but details on each of the projects are scarce. I suspect some alleged organization projects are secretly private machinations. Marluxia seems especially suspect. Pressing Zexion for answers would be a waste of time. I know that, but this dearth of information is hard to accept. What's happening on the upper levels? What ought we be doing down here? They hug their truths close and leave the rest of us to speculate. Zexion talks of the bond we share as an organization, but how could such a thing exist? Still, he remains the only one I can trust. Simple deduction suggests Axel's outwardly inscrutable actions are the result of some directive from Cyax. Why else eliminate Vexen? He simply wanted to do research. Did we not all stand to gain from the fruits of his program? What is Axel thinking? Axel is in the way, though I don't know if he's aware of our plot. Vexen had no part in our plans. Why eliminate him? Assuming Axel's orders were to root out traitors in the organization. Discerning his motives merits our full attention. I've uncovered most of what I need to know about the replica program, but where's the other one? I can't find any trace of it. Vexen was caught in the middle. Pitiable, but unavoidable. I could not risk his program falling into their hands. Of greater concern are the traitors. Not the obvious turncoats, but the ones who will get in his and my way. The Keyblade Master is not our enemy. Roxas woke up today. I think he was dreaming this whole time. Being with him feels strange. Familiar. Like listening to the waves crash up against the shore. But why? The replica program continues apace, but something has gone wrong at Castle Oblivion. The Dusks returned with word that none of those we dispatched survived, but the news came in fragments. I still know too little to extract the truth. I doubt Axel would be among those lost, but I must plan for the worst. First, I must locate the Keyblade Master. I've lost track of the Keyblade Master and the other intruders. I'm the only one left in the castle. Everybody else has been destroyed. My orders were to end the traitors, but I think by this point I fit that bill better than anybody. There's one last thing I need to look into while I'm here. Saïx had a hand in what went down at Castle Oblivion. Well, more like a whole arm, which means Axel was in on it as well. It's a fact that Xemnas ordered Axel to take out the traitors, orders which went through Saïx. No specific names were given, but naturally Xemnas knew who the turncoats were right from the get-go. The longer you know someone, the less you need to speak in clear terms. Everything gets across with a wink and a nudge, a little reading between the lines. When it comes to what befell our late comrades at Castle Oblivion, ambiguity suits me just fine. But the Keyblade Master and Roxas come out and say every little thing that comes to mind. Maybe that's human, or maybe they're just special. I lost the ability to use the Keyblade, and I have no idea why. I don't know what to do about it, about anything. It happened suddenly, after Roxas woke up. If I can't collect hearts anymore, the organization has no use for me. This is terrible. Honestly, I never got why Roxas was so crazy about Xion. I know they both joined up around the same time and they're both rookies, but how do you get close to somebody who hides their face all the time? Well, I saw it today. All of a sudden, number 14 up and takes off her hood. Xion is a girl, and she looks just like Naminé. Roxas has been coming along on my missions to help out, since I can't use the Keyblade. Axel is covering for me, so I should be safe for now. But what am I going to do if I never get the Keyblade back? I can't lie forever. The hearts collected by our two Keyblade wielders, Roxas and Xion, have gathered together, and now almighty Kingdom Hearts waxes large in the night sky. Our efforts have come to bear fruit, nearly ripe for the plucking. All plans proceed smoothly, alarmingly so in fact, though this is no time to be deterred by paranoia. Neither Roxas or I have any memory of our human lives. I don't even remember my first days as a nobody. Roxas said he was the same, but I'm not so sure. For me, it's a total blank. I can't even remember the day I met Roxas or Axel. It's all a blur. Xion regained her ability to wield the Keyblade. I don't know how or why. Maybe there's more to the Keyblade Master they're not telling me about. I feel like I've been spending more time talking to Roxas and Xion lately than my old friend Saïx. This has to have been what it was like. Friendship. Every day it's work, work, work. I'm dead bored and I'd kill for some vacay. Nobody needs his rest, am I right? And when I get it, it's gonna be nothing but me and my sitar. Roxas is maturing at an impressive rate. His face, the way he handles the Keyblade, it's all exactly the same. The world seems so divided and alone, but there's always that steady thread there to connect them. And we nobodies can never escape the things we did as humans. So it goes. Talking to Roxas and Xion always brings back memories of my human life. Back when I was a kid. It's a weird sensation. I ought to be able to share all this with Saïx, but I just don't feel like it anymore. It's strange, but I'm content with just missing what's gone. I'm not the one who changed. You did. Watching that foolish beast flail about only deepens my disdain for humans and their incessant need to be pinned down by feelings. We became nobodies precisely to avoid the shackles of emotion. It was only later that we realized the scale of that loss, that some things simply cannot be done without a heart. Nonetheless, I can see nary a pleasant thing about it. That man wearing the organization's coat. That jerk! He's too powerful. I can't beat him unless I get stronger. And I'm not a sham. I'm not. He is. He's the one pretending to be something he isn't. As expected, the duplicate is starting to show its limits. The program showed promise, but a puppet is just a puppet, something to be toyed with until it breaks. I am utterly at a loss as to what Roxas and Axel see in that thing. How best to dispose of its merits, my considerations go forward. Try my best to keep it going, but that was just bad. How best to dispose of it merits my consideration going forward. I wasn't ready to see Roxas again. I can't help but compare us. We both use the Keyblade. We're so different. Does he dream? Seems like that's all I do anymore. Last night I dreamt of the ocean. I was drowning. Roxas and Shion must have had it over something. Knowing them, it's something dumb, but still. Watching them, it's like they're human. It's messing with my head. I kind of wonder if Roxas understood all that about the wrong buttons. I get the sense a lot of it went right over his head. I've got my new hit single. X-Face is always barking at me to work, but what's he to expect me to do against a monster like that? I mean, stop and think about skill sets when you divide up the labor already. Shion failed to complete its mission. If this continues, destroying it and using the next replica as the duplicate would undoubtedly yield a higher grade copy. No I was among the initial lot, which naturally raises the question about its capabilities. At present, it is nothing short of broken. I cannot fathom why Xemnas would want to keep it. There has to be something to what Saix said. Why isn't Shion qualified to be one of us? He said to just look at her, but at what? The fact that she looks like Namine? Shion and Namine must be connected. Whose nobody is Shion anyway? What is Saix hiding? I find myself envying the children. Perhaps some fundamental differences exist between those who become nobodies as adults and otherwise. The longer you have lived, the more you are positioned to lose with such a gamble. But a child can look forward, unafraid even in the face of immeasurable odds. I doubt they even see life as a gamble the way we do. Shion continues to sleep. All analysis on its functions suggests no marked change. The copying appears to be working, but a replica is a replica. My latest report to Xemnas on this netted me no clear answers. He simply stood smiling. At times I find his thinking impenetrable. I finally wake up just to pass out again? Why? Because I'm a failure? I dreamt the whole while I was out. It was something nostalgic, but what? Why can't I remember? It could be a key memory from my human life. All I can remember is the sound of waves, gentle, in the distance. I thought I'd never see the word replica again. Any rational man would realize the Riku replica was not likely unique, but I'm the only one in the organization who knew of his exceptional copying functionality, and that he ultimately formed a sense of self. The fact that I knew all that and still never noticed the truth about Shion speaks to how remarkable a replica she must be. But my question remains unanswered. Who is she a replica of? Namine? Kairi? Or perhaps someone entirely different? Why did the organization admit her into its membership? And why would such a fine replica fall unconscious or sporadically lose its command of the Keyblade? Even if Shion is a replica, a puppet, she's still Shion. I understand that in my head, but how do I interact with her now? Riku replica was just a tool, but I can't just use Shion. No, I was wrong to have just used Riku replica in the first place. How is a man-made puppet any less worthy than a nobody that was never meant to exist at all? They're both ambiguous, tenuous at best, and she's my friend. Even if neither of us should exist, doesn't invalidate the bonds we form. Next break we get, I told her we'd all go to the beach. I hope we get the chance. Our little summer vacation. I know if we can get together and laugh about stupid stuff, this nagging doubt will go away. My body feels heavy and my head aches. I'm too busy dreaming to get any rest from sleep. Axel knows something. He's hiding some secret. It must be in Castle Oblivion. That's where I was born. Shion's appearance should vary based on the relation of the viewer to her. Saix sees her simply as a puppet. The program approaches completion. Through Roxas, Shion is assembling a copy of the hero of the Keyblade. As proof, she sometimes appears to take on his form to my eyes. Shion's disappearance is fascinating. If she really is breaking from our control, it's a sign of her approaching the essence of the hero. It seems Sayek still doesn't truly see her. I'm curious to know how she appears to the others. I see her as him, though I suspect that Xemnas sees something else entirely in her. The air is charged. I can feel it. You go out on a big gamble at a time like this, and you're going to lose big. That said, it's betting against the worst odds that nets the biggest wins. I'm eager to see how this hand plays out. Shion is gone. Roxas still doesn't know anything, but Shion found out. That's why I need to find her. We don't have hearts, so we accept the facts we're given as truth. But something far more important lies behind that truth. Sykes would laugh at people with no hearts calling one another friends, but that doesn't make it not so. As the nobody of the hero of the Keyblade, and the replica of that nobody, those two are special, unique in every sense of the word. But that doesn't change the fact that we're friends. Nothing will. Got it memorized, Shion? Axel and Roxas are up to something. No plot they concoct will change the fact that the organization has cast off Shion, though. Our plans have split, diverged, and advanced now to the next stage. The No Eye project and replica program merely paved the way. Our true goals lie elsewhere. None of us really know everything that's going on in Castle Oblivion. Some rooms even Xemnas doesn't know about. Not many are even aware that Shion was born there. I wonder if the truth about that place will ever surface. The man they're calling the imposter, that fake organization member, it's Riku. Roxas could very well remember that, somewhere deep in his memories. Still, it's too soon to report this. I need to know why Shion was with him first. If she's siding with the hero, it could easily mean her erasure. What are you planning to do, Shion? Axel failed to report that the imposter and Shion are working together. Instead, that news came from Roxas. The boy is far more easily handled than Axel, but now Axel has captured Shion and returned her to us. His motives are impossible to read. Our plans can be altered if necessary, but doing so can only delay their realization. Roxas doesn't trust me after the whole Shion incident, but I can't tell him the truth yet, so I keep lying. It's no big deal when you're a nobody. There's no guilt, no feeling at all. So why does it still sting? Just a little when I lie to him. All my dealings with Roxas give me this bizarre illusion of humanity. We watched the sun set today, the three of us. I didn't think we'd ever be able to do that again. It's like that dream I had. The one where I was by the shore with Roxas and Axel, watching the sun set over the water. I just want to stay with them. But how? What should I do? Shion is burning through missions at full tilt. She seems frantic. Why, I don't know. And speaking of, I still don't know what to say to Roxas. Even without my orders from Sayek, I'd do anything to stop Roxas from being erased. I just don't know if I can stand by and let that happen to Shion either. Axel's always helped me out, so I just assume he would again. How long has he known about me? Maybe since long before we met in Castle Oblivion, but he told me to think for myself. I was so happy. But now as I get stronger, Roxas keeps getting weaker. I shouldn't exist anymore. They say that nobodies were never meant to exist, but I'm the real affront. But before I'm gone, I want to help Roxas and Axel. Even just a little. I think the boy I saw today is the same Sora from my memories. Be they a puppet or the hero's nobody, we merely need a functional Keyblade Master. The details are unimportant. The puppet has developed to a point where the hero of the Keyblade may be entirely redundant. Indeed, perhaps we ought never allow Sora to awaken. He cannot be controlled. He will rise up against us. We must move our agenda ahead with that firmly in mind. Riku gave me this time. Axel told me to spend it thinking for myself. The organization is determined to erase either me or Roxas. They'll never allow us to coexist. I love Roxas and Axel. I'm sure Sayek would scoff at that, call it a trick of my artificial memories. But the time I spent on that clock tower was real. I wish the three of us could stay together, just like this forever. But I have to end this. I'll never forget today's sunset. Even if Roxas and Axel do, I won't forget. I couldn't tell Shion she was wrong, and I can't bring myself to end her. But it's either that or I have to erase Roxas. There's no future where the three of us can sit around and eat ice cream. I know Roxas will never understand. I don't want to acknowledge it myself. I wanted to see Roxas one more time, but couldn't. What would I say? Did I ever really exist? Even if not, I just hope that those times we spent watching the sunset were real. I know Namine will tell me how to get back where I belong. I should hurry to see her. The gears of Xemnas' plan have begun to spin wild since the loss of half of our membership at Castle Oblivion. The results are there, but can this state of affairs fairly be called a success? If Kingdom Hearts can be said to possess a mind of its own, it is surely rejecting Xemnas. No, rejecting Xehanort. Roxas left the organization today. Our plans never accounted for the possibility of both Shion and Roxas leaving. How did this come to pass? When did Roxas grow strong enough to outmuscle me? What were you really after, Lee? We joined the organization at the same time and formulated our plan. At this point, it's just an idle fantasy. Everything changed. You and me. Roxas left. So like him to just leave that winter ice cream stick behind. Come tomorrow, I'll probably get the order to hunt him down. But leaving that here makes it feel so permanent. I wish the three of us... Three? No, that the two of us could share some ice cream again someday. That's what it is to be friends. With luck, we can bring Roxas back into our fold. But even if Sora should awaken, as the hero of the Keyblade, he's bound to keep unlocking hearts. If he should come to target us, we need simply subdue him and use his power ourselves once more. I must become one with Kingdom Hearts. I will become a higher existence. All of my true ambitions begin there.